What is up, my diggers? I'm Grandpa Max Angor, and I hurt less today than I did yesterday. That was a fucking fever dream of pain. Holy Christ! I mean, I got 6 laps done. I got 12 miles walked, but at what cost? So today's pain is much more manageable. It is much more manageable in how all-encompassing it is. So. Motherfucker. I had this thing turned way down. There we go, okay. There we go, okay, now it's all coming back. So we're on day 3. Hello, Kim Kim.
Yes? Can I help you?
Let's talk to people.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Okay, let's look at our tasks and see what we need to get. Titus, classy with the party story, the petanque players, working class husband, morale, track down your gun, the smoker on the balcony. Sing karaoke. Oh, damn it, I did it again! Fuck! I forgot to read my friggin' ledger.
The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces as she notices you.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now.
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant.
Hold on, you're a patrol officer of the RCN.
Yes, I am.
I'm a cop too.
I know.
Here's the real deal.
It's hard to tell whether he's sarcastic or sincere, but if you had to guess, you would say the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
I'm on a murder investigation. Are you the cavalry?
I'm definitely not the cavalry.
Is everything alright? Why don't you want to talk to me?
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you?
After all you've done, is what her tone implies.
Why? I bring word of the end to come.
Of course he does.
Word of the end to come.
Then something changes in her. It's pity. Pity comes over her.
Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want?
What does one talk about with a fellow officer?
So what precinct are you from?
What precinct?
Am I from? God, he doesn't know.
Fucking deranged lunatic.
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation. Maybe you're doing something wrong.
You're the police, right? Cool, so am I.
I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, Judith.
Wait, is he police?
Me? No. I'm just a man with sunglasses. I like wearing sunglasses inside. Sunglasses and a fucking wig.
Okay,
What are you, the police, doing here?
I'm just looking out for...
you?
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are?
A horse-faced woman.
You're a fucking asshole. Are we done here?
You look like shit. And I don't mean that as a metaphor.
You can't leave it like that. Spin it on its head. Engage caps lock. No, you don't. You look like a young god.
I look like a burning sun.
What?
Push it more. Harder. Be more intelligent.
I mean the likeness of the holy sun in the sky. I look like it.
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
What the fuck? I got a message. Oh, from Tanish. New and shiny certificate. It took me long because they won't let me review my forms. God damn it. Congrats. Are you going to celebrate?
It's not just this week. What do you want?
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. A similar but different face. He might be wearing a disguise.
Full of shades. Are you wearing a disguise?
Yes, it's a hobby of mine.
As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response. Something to click. It's not happening, though. Who is this guy?
Kim, who is this guy?
I'm not getting involved in this.
It's not my style, he thinks, glancing at the man in sunglasses and the woman beside him. Oh boy, they're mad at him. No wonder. He just doesn't recognize them. You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him.
Tell me the truth. Do you know me from somewhere?
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
Another life.
From where? From another life?
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality?
99,999,999.9?
That's exactly right. Down to a fraction.
No need for the sarcasm.
I don't even know what to say to that. What is your goddamn station?
41st.
Okay, that's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good.
Let's talk more about this hypothetical Station 41 you mentioned.
Okay.
The hypothetical 4-1. Yeah, let's fantasize about that. I'm not busy, you're not busy. Let's just play around. What would our relationship be in this alternate universe?
Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment?
You seem like a cool guy. I'd love to have you as my partner. You seem like a bit of a drag, no offense, but I could do better.
None taken, my friend. None taken. Let's be honest. There's been some purely fictional talk in our imaginary station in regards of who'd even be worthy of your partnership.
Ooh, I got a thing from Derek. Let's see what this is. You don't need a good belt since you're lifting heavy. What do you mean? This is my good belt. Whoa. Well, okay. Guild of Storms are staying.
And the conclusion is that a man with your caliber should form his own one-man policing unit. Anyone else would just slow you down.
You have a crime to solve?
Oh, no. You see, I enjoy watching other, better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
Who else is in our imaginary police station?
You're not going to believe this, but... police officers.
Gosh!
Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that drink on at 2 o'clock. Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lung.
Who is the far-out son of Lung?
Oh, it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you.
Want to tell me more about him or her?
Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
He's trying to protect you from further rough handling, dished out by this sunglassed man. Okay, yes, you get the joke. Leave it at that.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I.
It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something. A gram of compassion in that sadness.
Got some questions for you. I'm a cop.
About what? You don't look like a cop. You know what you look like?
Like a prophet.
Not the prophet shit again.
He didn't answer your question. Who does this asshole think he is? A cop?
Now will you answer some questions for me?
No.
Don't you have to?
No, he doesn't.
If I wasn't clinically depressed, I'd burst out laughing. But I'm gonna go with no right now.
If you don't want to answer questions, maybe you want to hear me say things.
Actually, I don't want to hear you say things.
Come on, Jean.
Okay, say things. I want to hear you say things.
Hear that? He wants you to say things. Say one. Suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related things start popping up in your head.
Okay, this person who was shot and made to look like he was hanged, he might have been shot by the people who hanged him.
I get it, okay. But what is the motive?
To cover something up.
That would be my first guess, yes.
It's quite possible. Hey, why am I telling you these things?
I don't know. Why are you?
It's like you felt it would be intellectually stimulating and would lead somewhere. A custom even? Strange. Who knows why we do the things we do? Somehow, bouncing those ideas off the man with sunglasses felt calming, like you've done it before. You know what? It must be because he's buff. He looks like he works out, like he's got the devil on his back.
Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? What is it? Watch out for yourself, loser.
That voice, so very familiar. Did you hear it when calling to your station and reporting your badge missing?
Wait, your voice. I recognize it.
Oh really? I wonder where.
I lost my badge recently. When I called in to report it missing, you were there.
That's the where you remember me from?
I have a bit of a memory trouble.
You don't say. Goodbye then. The voice thing was a coincidence. Run along, asshole.
Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right?
I know! Super weird!
There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at. But still.
I was just thinking the same thing. I should just ask him if we're from the same station.
Yes, just cross it off the list. It's probably not true, though.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Look, I have to ask, are we from the same police station?
I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say?
Okay.
Okay?
Jean, he said okay. Give it a rest.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't...
So first, let's go talk to Mr. Patonk. I forgot to get myself more coffee. God damn it. Enormous bullets, worthy of a real man.
Officer! God damn it. Pull yourself together, René. What do you want?
This man seems to be experiencing a mild to medium level of congestive heart problems, either due to narrowing of the arteries or high blood pressure. Judging by his attitude, probably the second one.
I understand Jean-Marie meant a lot to you?
There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not her death you are investigating.
Were the circumstances of her death in any way unusual?
Absolutely not. She died of pneumonia in her bed at the age of 79. This is highly usual.
Where was the photo of you two taken?
Reverschall Fair of 91 in the Faubourg district. A parade was held to honor Guillaume Le Lion's name day, and the Carabineers marched in the place of honor.
You looked happy in that picture, smiling.
This was the happiest day of my life.
What happened between you, Gaston, and Jean-Marie?
I was 22 when I returned from King Guillaume's Akira operation in the south, and found my sweetheart in the arms of this wretch.
The Akira operation was a 7-year campaign, during which Suzerain Guillaume's army forcefully united the people in the southeastern part of La Petite Continent, collectively known as the Akira tribes, under the Reverscholian banner.
I won her back, but while I was dealing with some issues.
You were like a dark cloud sucking the joy out of every living thing around you. And you hurt her.
Dark cloud. That sounds unpleasantly familiar.
Those days and memories are gone.
The old soldier says nothing, but when his glance quickly runs over Gaston's face, there's an odd look in his eyes. Could it be guilt?
Do Maybells mean anything to you, Renee?
I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls brought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck.
Hold on, this is a royalist military tradition?
It used to be. But the communards were fond of them too. Call them revolutionary flowers. Bells of the revolution.
Did they bring you good luck?
You know what? No. They brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them.
You stirred up some bad memories there.
But it wasn't the revolutionaries that sullied the ID for you, was it? She gave them to me too, and your jealous little heart just couldn't accept it.
She must be the woman from that picture. Jeanne-Marie again.
Enough! I can go over these matters in detail with you, Gaston, but not while we have company. So, officers.
Maybells don't blossom yet, do they?
Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do. But I think you'll have to wait for at least a month.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia on this fine day?
I ate your sandwich, Gaston.
Well, officer, what did you think?
Make it lively.
Truly a masterpiece of modern gastronomy, or should I say gastronomy, and give the man an approving wink.
Coming from an officer of the law, this appraisal means an awful lot to me. Thank you.
I don't mean to keep Gaston's tongue from your rectum, officer. Do you actually have any police business with...
No, I do not. Ha! Oh, Jesus. That had me rolling. That was good.
This window.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
The Hardy Boys told me what really happened.
I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
You lied to us, miss.
I didn't lie. Not a lot. I've done my absolute best not to. I just...
'Tis true. The lady hath tried to avoid falsehoods.
It was a mistake. I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two.
Yeah, this is
Then
wrong.
move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Shush. I can't hear what she's saying. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying so hard not to break.
Why did you waste our time then?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
The Hardy Boys are not the law. We are.
I know that. But the people around here...
I'm the
I
lawbringer.
don't see it that way. And if I am to stay here, I need to get along with them.
Cool, I'm satisfied with this explanation.
I am not. There is more here, miss.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon. Grey and pale violet in the morning light.
What lies beyond it?
The pale, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old, old world.
The RCM isn't the lapdog of the moral intern. You don't have to worry.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Nothing to do with her? You'll be the judge of that. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again, with a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's doing County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Laws cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
That's a lot of shit you gotten yourself into.
It is. Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite. Ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting, a lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more. Of course, this case takes precedence.
What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean. Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could...
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it.
I knew he was dead, before he fell down on top of me.
You were right. He did enjoy the moment of his death.
So my feeling was right earlier. He was enjoying the moment of his death.
Yes, but how did you know that?
You asked her before if he enjoyed it. She avoided it. How did I not discern it was a lie?
He just had a hunch. Detectives have those sometimes.
Another hit. The lieutenant looks at you in acknowledgement.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
That's a motherfucker.
Yeah, it was a real motherfucker. Ow.
She throws it away and immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you look pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
What'd you do then?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Run, woman. Run past them and out into the streets where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection, as far as you can.
Why didn't you run away from here? As a matter of fact, why are you here now?
I already ran. I ran from an entire Isola. I can't run any further. Not with these people. This is as far as it gets.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Who's Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
I thought Titus Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
Why not?
Does she also party with Ruby, however?
Did you party with her too?
No.
Still, there is something there. She won't tell you now.
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
This is concurrent with your doubts at the autopsy about the coloring being.
I knew it. The coloring in his lower limbs looked faint.
About half an hour had passed since the moment of death.
She nods.
You were late. The marks would be faint by that time.
In honor of another precise forensic observation, you have it in you to be a champion. Keep your head in the game now.
What'd you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What'd you do when they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
Where is she now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later. There is something suspicious about that theory, but you can't put your finger on it.
When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
Either way, something to consider.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
If they want to kill me, they'll kill me. If they want to toy with me, they will. She's come to this conclusion weeks ago.
I think we're done here for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking, are we done here? Or maybe you should take her to the station for safekeeping. She lied to you, and she's a flight risk. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality. Multiface, I'm beginning to doubt your judgment. Are you sure you're not sleeping on the post? You have to wake this one up with force if you want to continue pushing her. Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. Look at her. Her hands, her nails, the cigarette. Every second you stall, you become more entangled in this spider's web of lies. Arrest her immediately.
Kim, why haven't we arrested her yet?
There may be grounds here. At least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around. She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this.
Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. We demand her fear.
What if I told you you're under arrest?
But I haven't done anything. Anything illegal.
Failure to aid a police investigation. She purposefully misrepresented information crucial to the case. Fucking mind games. Enough. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in.
Failure to aid a police officer. You have wasted our time in a time-critical investigation.
The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please, no.
But there's nowhere to go. A two-story drop to the Plaza Mosaic. If she could, she would have run before. Fragile, unshielded. Her voice is thin and tired.
I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you.
She knows something.
What do you know? Who shot him?
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, in a hushed voice, she says, gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her.
Ruby.
How could she have killed him?
You've been through there, right? I saw you come out. It leads downstairs. She could have come to the roof through that, then made the shot right here, where I stand. It was dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Then slipped back downstairs without anyone noticing. That is possible.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the
Julian
ring
_
and
Sarah.
She used to come here to drink on the roof with me, before it got weird.
Why do you think it was her?
She has this thing for me, ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
What she's saying is... sex?
And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship.
What is this? Red balloon. A bright red breed of balloon bug found floating at the higher elevations than his duller cousins. Live bait for both sky fishing and cloud fishing. Up to 999 red balloons can be stacked together. Ah, that is good.
When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
Wait. Everyone, just wait. What is this? Derail this whole thing immediately and investigate.
Yeah, let's not.
Before we do, what exactly in your relationship made you think she is romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more.
Yes, but what was their relationship outside this unequal power dynamic?
What was your relationship like before this conflict?
We spent a lot of time together, listening to the radio and such. She had great milieus, and she was good company. I was sorry it had to end.
What was that question about? She's feeding her friend to the wolves here.
Sounds like she was fixated on you.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? The lynching?
Ruby said there would be shit happening if you didn't end your relationship with the deceased. Was she threatening you?
She came over one night, drunk. Said she'd turn my life into a living hell.
Damn it.
I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it.
I forgot to fucking get my coffee.
And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
Some of that fear is still with her. She exhales sharply. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
Okay, that's it for Ruby.
Okay. And what? Arrest the liar now. Why? She told us some pretty interesting things there. Don't arrest her. Push her a bit more, but then let her off. That Ruby theory was solid. And she's beautiful. She's stuck here. She's already in prison. Look around. She's only trying to help you.
Who?
Her. Stop letting her distract you.
I'm willing to let her go, just because her life sucks enough as it is, and I think letting her live is actually more evil than taking her in and letting the moral intern kill her.
Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret it.
Something tells you, you will. She slowly lights another cigarette. As you look back, you think, so love did do him in, after all.
I was right.
If it weren't for her, he would not have been there. The shot would not have connected with his soft palate.
Looks like love did him in after all.
She's silent, holding on to her coffee mug. No vapor rises from it. It's cold.
Yeah. I'd like to think he didn't love me. Or that it was chemically induced and not real.
Why?
Easier that way.
Was it real?
I don't know.
There's a nod. The smallest of nods. Real as anything.
Where is communism in this?
You do not know. A wind of needles. Airships flutter in the stratosphere.
How do I know all this then?
Who knows? It's getting cold out. You should go. This window is pristine on the inside. Unlike the one next, golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. A two-hearted spider.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him.
Where does it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Didn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
So I'm what, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%, with a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness. Too busy with their own bodies.
Got another message. Here we go. Could the shot have come from inside the room?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective.
Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there have been another point of origin further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Yes, do extrapolations.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Let's look at the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Let's look at Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. 1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinez perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle. 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Jim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Let's say B prime, B double prime, and B triple prime.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less than from the roof, but still.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Let's talk about the hanged man again.
Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again.
Okay.
We're not wasting time. There is no time.
Okay, the person who was shot and hanged, he may have been shot by the person who made it look like he was hanged.
A cover-up. Well, the author of the cover-up is the perp? Makes sense.
I know, right? But what's the motive?
You don't have a motive? Then the double cover-up seems too neat.
Hey, yeah, why am I telling you
I
these
don't
things?
know. Oh my god, there's...
It's you again. What is it?
Talk to Classy. Now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
I'm gonna level with you. She's the next link in the chain that leads me to Lely's killer.
Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Not on my watch, you're not. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be...
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought. A massive activity spike in the amygdala copicum, the part cops use to pin murders on people.
Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him?
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
She didn't go to the toilet?
No.
That's a lie.
You know that's not the case.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, Cop.
That's probably for the best. Don't break your stride now.
And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
He's been through it. That means he's suspected her too. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof. You got his attention. Now don't ruin it by making weird claims. Remember, you can still mess this up.
There's a secret room to the kitchen that leads straight to the roof.
How?
And a little, just a little worried.
Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop.
People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Weird? How? You're wearing the pinball maker's coat.
What do you mean weird?
Was run by a fella called Nerflock something, who wore a yellow dust coat like the one you have on right now. Weird guy. Never liked him.
It is a very comfortable coat for such an oldie.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter, used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
From there, a door leads straight up to the roof. You can just step outside.
Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
Right there, underneath the calm and the cool, a nervousness. He's thinking, Ruby could have fucked us all over. How did I not see it?
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
Guess what? Remember that key I found here?
I don't like guessing, Carl. No one does.
It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here, with you, all the time.
You didn't find it, but Ruby did. That's how she got up here.
Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. You took that key. Did it look like it was recently put there?
No, the ribbon was old. Faded. It'd been there for 20 years at least.
She could have made a copy.
And then put it back. Why? It's damn interesting you found it there, but it doesn't fit with Ruby, and you know it.
It doesn't fit well, but it fits, and he knows it. Also, it has to be said, this man would make a good RCM sergeant, or maybe even lieutenant. Just don't let him anywhere near women.
I also found footprints upstairs in the old workshop.
Footprints? Recent?
He looks tough, but there is a nervous twitch in his dark green eye. This is all too close to home for him. The tracks were recent, but not worn down in the right foot like Ruby's. It's best to omit this pesky little polemic for now. Too confusing.
Yep, size about 43.
43 is pretty large for a girl, don't you think? But then Ruby's what you call a butch girl. She's no daffodil.
Yeah, but that's what's so cool about her. It's why we've been thinking...
I know what you've been thinking, Glenn. We'll talk about it. Once the murder charges have been cleared.
Titus, you're not really saying...
He's thinking, all right. Glenn gets silence for an answer. Push forward with this theory.
You do agree the shot could have come from the roof, right?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
Put the numbers out there. This will impress them.
There's a 72% chance the bullet came from the roof.
72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
Definitely lie. The truth is not credible.
Yes, we have a ballistics lab in Quran we consult in cases like these.
Wouldn't hurt to have one of those in Martinez. What else have you got? That puts her on the roof.
Carefully established, Ruby had access to the roof where the man was shot.
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt, in the shape of a gun. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself. But what if you miss interesting information that way? The choice is ultimately yours. But
I've already established Ruby's running drugs. She could have smuggled guns.
God damn. That's just about your favorite topic, isn't it? Every fucking 5 seconds.
you were warned not to bring it up. Your best shot here is to just back out of it. He's about to blow his fuse.
Fine, I'm not getting into it if it touches on your precious business.
Okay, cop. She's got connections. I could see how she could have access to a gun. That still doesn't mean she did.
That's all you needed. Doubt.
The local pawn shop sold my lost gun to a woman. Maybe it was her.
You lost your gun?
What an idiot!
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder?
Yes.
No, you didn't. And Ruby didn't use your lost gun to kill him.
Oops.
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
What about the antique weapon?
That looks antique. A Belle McGrave. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
There's a cellar under the bookshop. It was hidden there with others just like it.
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
Okay, I see your point. There are guns lying around. Damn it. I thought we'd found all the old spots. Why was that still there?
We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Just these cops digging up shit.
I didn't say I proved she had the murder weapon. I just said we need to find her.
I don't know, cop. Why don't you find your lost gun first?
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
Classy told me some pretty interesting things about Ruby.
Yeah. Like what?
Apparently she had a thing for Classy.
A thing? You mean?
Behind his squinting eyes, dominoes are falling. Fast. It's all beginning to make sense to him now.
Yeah, but they're both girls.
Girls like girls too, Angus, sometimes. This is one of those times. She liked Glacier.
Come on, guys. She hangs out with you, meatheads. This cannot come as a surprise.
Yeah? No. Ruby's got more balls in a ball pit. You'd have to be an idiot not to... Guys, I'm not the only one who knew. Right?
Knew what? First he says she's murdered him. Now she's a too? It's a lie.
Glenn here obviously likes men and he can't hack it. That's his thing, and you do not want to get into it. Moving on.
Come on, Glenn. She likes Monica's titties more than you do. Everyone knows which way the wind blows there.
I did. I knew it. That's why she didn't fuck me at Fatty's birthday party.
Oh, that's unique. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Early access patch for Hades 2. Your sprint is innately faster and turning is more responsive. Rescaled abilities that boost this. You can now dash out of many attack and recovery animations more reliably. You can now gather from any resource points which have unlocked the corresponding tools. You can prioritize any tool to make its resources appear more often, while resources for tools you do not prioritize will appear less often. The Swift Runner now makes your dash immediate. Note the faster speed means you are invulnerable for slightly less time. Rescaled sprint. It's easier to dash across chasms. Driftwood resources are more common. Well of Charon. Grasp upgrade tutorial. Nice. Nice. Let's see. Other stuff, other stuff, other stuff. Additional for controllers, updates to translations, bug fixes, quotes of the pack. Nice. Well, that's amazing. That's all good news. You remember that thing I was bitching about earlier this morning, hon, if you're here? They fixed it.
She didn't fuck you, 'cause you're 40, and you still live with your mom, Dennis.
Ouch. Classy said she made the advances on her and she thwarted them.
Ruby then threatened her, and told her to end her
Yulia_Sarah.
relationship with
Yes,
the
I just
deceased.
heard you read it all off.
I knew they were going to do something with the dash, and honestly, I like that they did it that way. That works. It's a nice in-between between the people who like the old style Hades 1 dash and the thing they're trying to do here. And then the gathering thing, I very much like that. I think that's very fair and good. Because having to pick the right tool for the exact things you need is an ass drag.
This is some sordid shit. It's also the kind of garbage our Miss Aronier puts out to cover her own ass.
Sort of, but he doesn't have to know that.
She just told us. Ruby made her scared and she spilled the beans.
That Ruby is queer as cabaret. Now that I start thinking about it, I don't know why I didn't see it earlier. And that's okay. Some are queerer than others. You can still be a hardy. But if you bring your own personal shit into our outfit...
If that's the case, then it's not right. But it's not the case, right?
There are many pieces that fit together that way, Eugene. Face it.
It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up.
And I suppose you have a theory about that too, cop.
She could have been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
Eugene, let's assume you killed him.
He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
Would you prefer to go on trial with your friends as part of a lynch mob or alone for committing murder?
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. This is fucking stupid, Titus. This and the queer thing, all of it. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
When Classy came downstairs, Ruby appeared to know that something was wrong.
Nah, man. That's just Ruby. She's got shit under control. That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good.
Plus, man, it's like female intuition, you know. Women talk to women. Which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to.
Eugene wants a woman on the team so they can do their job. That must be hard. Half of Martinez is female.
Or she knew what happened because she killed him.
Not so useful.
Fucking hell.
Betrayal is not painless. Even a doubt of it hurts.
You have to see things don't add up. We need to talk to her.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. This is the only option he cares for.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
What was she doing with Ulan frequencies?
The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a A pale emitter.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies at a pale something. I don't know more.
Hang on, I gotta send this to Derek really quick. Yeah.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Pale something.
It feels like you'll get to know soon enough.
Do you have any clues where Ruby went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
What was she scared of?
I told you. You.
Me personally?
Yes, you. The cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
And a hole in his heart. That first.
No wonder she's afraid. I've come to declare the ending of the human experiment.
Sure. The human experiment. That's real funny. You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
Have you looked for her?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
You're all here. Who's out looking?
Lizzie needed some air.
The gardener, but she went to Everett.
You're a smart cop, but you're a stupid person. No one goes to tell Everett anything. If he has to know, he has to know fast.
It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you a game when she stormed out. She has her own plan.
What else did Ruby tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes, and that you won't stop.
Never. Not until the case is solved. And then the next case. And the next.
She's right, I won't.
Not until you have something on her. She says she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans.
And then when they're all empty, just move on, onto the next can. Don't look back unless there was something you missed.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having to go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
Is that true, Kim? Am I a can opener?
You are insistent.
Anything else?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cop, Titus. This cop, he...
Scared. You should be, too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject.
When did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
Can you tell me on the coast where I should start looking?
Sure. There's some shit houses there. A cinderblock town. Fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. So, that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man.
Not much, but it'll do.
It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material.
You should be a cop, Titus.
When are you gonna get it through your dumb head? I already am. I just wasn't sure you were.
And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks, then turns back to his men.
What?
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. You grab the handle and pull the lever up. As soon as the metal connects against the contact pins, you hear a loud clunk. Then, the water lock starts moving.
Good lord.
All right, we can go to the coast now. Expect rugged terrain and drunks.
Breaker box to power the pylon above you. Maybe there's something inside. Ahead, decades-old concrete defenses. Children play on them now. Let's go exploring! Traffic, more abandoned lorries. I want cool glasses. We're taking on your Hermal Rose supersonic out for a ride on the streets of Jammer, where your heart is buried. No entry. Someone scribbled an inverted star on it. Fucking goddamn communards. We do not approve of communism. Someone has broken down the fence and the barbed wire. The swing is missing. No one's been here for a long time. The wind is corralled by the 4-story buildings around this yard. Glory, says the graffiti, to the ghosts of us. Someone has left their music collection beneath the tarpaulin. Oh my Jesus. We did it.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing.
Push your ear against the speaker.
It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Within seconds you know, this is the one, the real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to that Claudia told you about. Perform it. A click. Then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning.
Could I sing this for karaoke? I think I could sing this.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like a million times. Yep, they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
What?
Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand. The lieutenant watches you pack up the boombox. He doesn't say anything.
Fuck a murder investigation. Let's go do that. Wait, what the fuck?
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind you. There's desolation everywhere. Yet someone used to live here, laugh here. Thought it was a good idea to build a swing, even.
What happened?
In this yard?
He's assessing the situation. How long ago was it abandoned?
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscure, for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago.
What? Wait, what's a block obscure?
A black bloc. A part of the city left unrenovated after the war. Or one that has fallen to gang violence. Or has become inhospitable in some other way.
On aerial photos, block obscures look like dark squares, hence their name.
So this part of the coast is a block obscure?
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house.
At least they left some old music.
Yes, and you picked it up because you're a post-apocalyptic scavenger who collects trash and magnesium blisters.
It's not meant as nagging, just an observation.
We should move. I don't think our suspect is in this particular yard. No place to hide. And besides, it's too close to Martinez.
Birds in the birch tree, barely audible coos come from above. Let's go enthusiastically sing. We're gonna bring the house down.
Can I help you?
Gart, I need to sing karaoke now.
No, you don't. It's not happening.
He tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge the karaoke man. You need to approach this situation logically. Ask him why he has the PA system installed if you can't use it.
Yeah, but Johnny Law is about to tear it up sad style.
The whirling doesn't need more sad style. That's one of the styles it can do without right now.
Why do you even have the PA system if no one's going to use it?
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of '44.
What happened in 44?
A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke.
When was the last time you had a band play here?
It's not for bands, it's for clients. Some clients, okay? Not you.
I'm a client. I paid my bills and I have a right to use a karaoke machine.
Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
He's lying. But whatever, you don't really need his lame tracks.
It's okay, I've got my own song.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard. This is the look of a man who's defeated. He knows he's out of excuses.
Fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself. Oh yeah, time to do the damage.
We're gonna do the damage. This feels right. You belong
The
here.
stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet.
Ooh, when he's doing the song, I can go get my coffee.
You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Look, Kim, I'm about to sing karaoke.
I can see that.
Immediately,
Yulia_Sora, is there enough for both of us?
noise startles
Probably not.
You feel like an amateur. How are you supposed to hold the mic? Should you just sing into it? Where should you stand?
I'll bring it up to your room before I come back in here, though, so you can get a nice big slug.
Hands. Where do you put your hands? Does someone feel like throwing up? I do.
Yulia_Sora, I'll fill and start a new pot when you're done, then.
Okay. Look around the room.
It's still early here. Faint daylight is seeping into the dining hall. All the tables have been wiped pristine clean for the customers to come. Someone's making coffee in the kitchen. But aside from that, no one's really around yet. It would be a much better idea to perform in the evening, no? Yes, you can always do it in the evening. It will be less scary with a lot of people.
Okay, let's go.
The air is thick with anticipation. The tape clicks into the carousel, and then the music starts.
Alright, I'll be right back.
I would often go there, to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Saint-San, though it once was larger. How the realm may rest there, down through the mist there, toward the Seven Sisters, toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there, in that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
Back in time. Fuck. God damn it.
Not bad.
Yes, not bad at all.
Life is a fucking joke. Thank you, ancient reptilian brain.
No reply. There is silence now in the deep where the voice came from. It has receded into you, to return only in dreams and nightmares.
Life is a fucking joke.
Okay, yes. I'm going to unplug the microphone, so you can get off the stage now.
Back to work. Wait.
Again? Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again.
We're
not wasting time.
The person who we
there
think
is no time.
The person who we think shot him, who made it look like he was hanged, that we're looking for, we can't find her.
Well, where have you looked for her?
We think she may be out on the coast.
West of here? Tough luck. The place is ruined from the bombardment. I don't know. Oh my god.
Fuck! Ugh, I keep sneezing. Very annoying. Christ alive! Ugh, Christ. The shot couldn't come from here. Trees blocked the way. Through the broken glass, dusty shelves, and a forgotten chair. You see a red chair in the dim light of the room.
It's only a red chair. Just a red chair in an empty shack, with what looked like a dusty bow tie on the shelf. Nothing to see here, right?
Hey Kim, where are we?
In someone's abandoned shack. On the coast. In Martinez. In Ravachol.
He's afraid you've forgotten suddenly.
What's with the red chair?
Nothing. It's just a piece of furniture.
Red paint is peeling off it. Looks like blood, no?
Fucking bow tie. There's a boat tucked away under the tarpaulin cover.
Great news. The boat is big enough for a grown man like you to fit underneath it in a supine position.
Great news, I found somewhere new to sleep.
Huh?
I said great news, I found somewhere to sleep. Under this boat, it'll be free.
Sarcastic self-pity is not what we need at this moment, officer. I understand the situation looks grim, but we must continue with our investigation.
Think of it as a salvation. You have a home somewhere. All cops do. When this is done, you can return.
Sounds of life. A washboard scrubs filth from fabric. too thick and thorny to pass through. Cinder blocks charred, a makeshift fireplace with magazines for lighting. Aha! Enter Isolary trousers. Tailored trousers in light brown, moderate in every aspect. They're absolutely unremarkable. In other words, perfect. You're sure that wearing this tie is a statement. You're not sure what that statement is, though. A wedding stone, well worn and covered in rust.
You stop mid-step and put your hand on the garish necktie.
That bottle, Bratan! Just look at that bottle!
What bottle? Where?
In this drunk's hand, on the pipe there. Glowing blue, a mysterious, otherworldly blue, filled to the brim with holy mysteries. It's hard to know what exactly your vivid interior is speaking of here, but I'm guessing it's got a lot of alcohol in it.
Okay, cool. What do I do next?
Oh, I think this is about so much more than cool. Please go talk to him. See what it's about. I'm drawn to it.
Hey, Tequila! Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you? So what's happening?
Tequila?
Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street gang. Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
I like this guy. You should too. He respects you by calling you your true name.
I have re-entered reality to conquer it, to bend to my will. I am the law.
That's the spirit. I used to shape reality into my image a long time ago. Those days are over now. Sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom Spiral Land. Haven't found those keys
Alan
yet.
Boss, I truly
Haven't won
enjoyed
that
your
great
streaming.
Piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
Alan Boss, content, so please continue doing your amazing work.
Oh boy, somebody new to block. Let's see. Spam. 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 Block. There we go. That's what you get for whispering me. The same fucking message 5 other people have whispered me. Oh, God, that's annoying. Thank you, Twitch. I know you've received my report. There's no need to send me a fucking email about it.
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of drunks. Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last.
Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around lately?
Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys.
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages. He really has no idea who this Ruby is, sire.
What do you guys do around here?
We are saving the world.
Please. Please don't go. Don't go.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now it's a pirate's life for me.
What is a tequila sunset? You keep saying it.
It's you. You're Tequila Sunset.
How do you know this?
We've met before. Don't you remember?
No, you sure don't.
Nope.
I don't think you're ready for that grade of reality yet. It'd be ill-advised for me to tell you. You gotta go do the intro yourself. Come back when you've been to the motor carriage. Tequila.
He points toward the waterline with his bottle.
You too, Tequila Sunset.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man is strong and familiar.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail!
I am the law.
You really don't have to. Besides, he won't understand you anyway.
Abigail. Oh, Abigail.
The dozing man mumbles something inaudible.
It feels safe and warm in here. Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange glow.
Hello, mister.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Do you know anyone named Ruby?
Ruby. Ruby. My mom tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or sometimes I can, but then
Kids.
Where are your parents?
My mom's outside, and I didn't really know about my dad.
What's this?
It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you make up for the skewer you broke.
Can I have it? I know someone who really likes stuffed birds.
Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
What's that thing you're holding?
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Lambie looks like he's falling apart.
Yes. Lammy has lived a long life. Lammy was a
Rivisholian?
No! That's not it! You know what you are, Lammy?
I think she means revolutionary.
Yes! Lammy was a revolutionary. Bye!
Where did they get that voice actress? In a preschool?
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
Is Lily your sister?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, where's your mom?
The kids don't reply, absorbed in their little game.
You guys look identical.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
Yeah, I said that.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt. The rock kicker was just being shy, but now he's enthusiastic again.
You're bad with kids.
I am, yes.
Don't worry, everyone is. How about we do some police work now? We're not getting anything here.
Have you seen any bad people around?
What bad people?
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present is gonna crack the case.
Then we're definitely doing it. You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the apricot Sujunti.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Then how does she know you're here?
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Trouble? Say the second thing, Bratan. Shows you got style.
We're cops. We're Hellraisers. Click, click, bang, bang.
No, you're not. I've seen you around here before. 12 years ago. You didn't raise any hell. You were quite helpful, actually. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
I'm totally an ill omen. It's exactly what I've been telling everyone. The end is here.
You're not. No one around here considers us an ill omen. People would have told us.
Maybe they are afraid.
Why?
Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone. Searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Where could someone stay around here?
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack.
How much is it?
I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
I'll take it.
Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room. Should he? This environment encourages one thing, and one thing only. Drinking. Yum yum. It's not a shack, nor a room, nor a lodging. It's a spiral staircase disappearing into bliss. Empty bottles on the floor. Maybe some baggies.
Finally, you have those lamos of Martinez off your back, Bratan. This looks like a great place to bring chicks.
Have you seen a... there's no way she... Well, maybe she would. Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around the coast?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Because she's blind, which you seem to have forgotten.
Oh, but because you're blind, right?
It's a sharp one.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works. And it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
You know something. We're here to help.
Aye. That you are, Dark Omen. Help yourselves and your organization. Help the storm clouds gather on the horizon.
Yeah, exactly.
Enough of this. She better start talking right now.
Okay, but we'll be back later if we find anything suspicious.
I'm not going anywhere. Perhaps there's something else the village can do for you, huh? Though we don't have much here. Just garbage and a skiff or two.
The door has seen better days. The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangements and look for any signs of Ruby. But just so you know, after we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling in rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now. An old mirror hangs on the wall. On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
You shaving the right call?
The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic. You'll be looking like a pansy without the chops. A fucking pansy. A fresh start looms ahead. Clean yourself up and be born anew. Like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman, you use the small mirror and the straight razor with some soap to remove all that unkempt hair from below the nose line. The sharp blade chafes against your skin, producing a scratching sound. The surface underneath the beard feels tender, the air brushing against it chilly. They feel so smooth, surprisingly so. A feeling of freshness overcomes you, as if you just came from a cold bath. You don't have a face anymore. It's all baby ass now.
Was shaving the right call?
The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt hair, and persistent swelling, you look a little younger, maybe. You almost look like a professional. Your face, such as it is, a regular human face, sans expression.
Intricate heat engine hums quietly, giving out pleasant warmth. Using a thermodynamic expander condenser cycle. Nice.
A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the foundation, producing a low hum. The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside, it is cold and windy, but you're inside, and it feels safe and warm.
What is this place to you?
My new hangout where I can silently sit, drink, and die while looking at the waves roll in.
Behind the half-built cinder block house at the other end of the village, there are 3 people drinking. Your new crew. You don't need the old crew. Oh no. You have a new crew to get drunk with. You already were a part of their crew once. You can get drunk with them again. You're probably going to hang out there a lot, behind that cinder block house. It's where you belong.
This feels like a cozy hideout.
Who are you talking to? There is no one here, not even cold.
Thank you, strange sensation, for a fair assessment of the current situation.
Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again. It's as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice.
Look under the floorboards.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below. Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard wrapped in paper. A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber.
Interesting.
The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. It's extra ammunition. She's locked and loaded, ready to fight some cops. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling this isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself.
Yes?
So I shaved.
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps...
I know. Stunning, right?
I'm really not sure about this turn of events. I may have preferred the mutton chops. They sort of seem to cover up the...
Damage. Yeah, damage. He means damage.
Either way, good on you. You were saying?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
Bullet? You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her?
Yes. I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before. But this seems different.
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said she left on Monday?
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Damn, she must have heard your Kanema.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Was there anything else there?
No.
The truth, sire.
What is she like?
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
This Ruby is an old lady whisperer. She knows how to work the village elder, unlike you.
Oh. Damn, the community were the ones who did all the Hades fixes. Yeah.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
She wanted to talk to her, as they usually do, but she was brooding.
Why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I have a possible explanation in my mind.
Do tell.
It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
Her life.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
Not a quitter. Like you sometimes get, son. She really believes that.
I heard she was a heavy drinker with anger issues. You ever witnessed that kind of behavior?
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset.
The sun sets for everyone.
She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself, the way some people do.
Do you have any technical equipment with, like, radio stuff?
Not that I know of. though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape millions she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
Where did she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
This is a cool moment. It needs a cool thing to be said.
Let's rock with our cock.
What?
I meant let's rock with our cock out.
You're still not saying it right.
Alright, let's rock with our cocks out.
It's too late now.
The old woman shakes her head, slowly.
Further up the coast we go.
Are you sure you'd rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
No, you can do it. You still have plenty of juice in you before you drop. Behind the cinder block houses, old pre-war ruins rise to the sky like dark palaces.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Date of birth generator. You were born in the year 07, in the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago. You are 44 years old. The bloating might never leave your face, but beneath it, you still have some years. You still have some hope.
What are these doing in the fish?
Hi, officer.
Factory balanced. Bakelite and stainless steel.
Anything I can help you with?
As always, I am the Lawbringer.
You've graduated to Lawbringer now?
Men with authority have their quirks. Comes with never being second-guessed about anything. So what brings you here, Lawbringer?
I am the law. Oh, hey, so a little observation. It's all cool, man. Don't freak out. But every time you say, I am the law, and you say it a lot, it's basically hello for you. Your jaw does this weird thing. It sort of shifts sideways, hanging off your face at a jaunty angle, where the word law sounds oddly guttural and low. It's strange. You wouldn't notice it, but after saying law 80,000 times, the question does come up. Why do you have law jaw? That depends. Where are we exactly?
A fishing village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium.
Why?
The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
I have questions. The first, what's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. And that was actually the second one.
Indeed. You're always confused as to your whereabouts. Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Nice sword. Does it come with a story?
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
Isn't that what guns are for?
Guns are expensive and fragile, I think. Besides, I got kids. Can't have guns around them, and sometimes a sharp blade is enough to keep folks at bay.
And sometimes It isn't.
Why do you need intimidation tactics?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Hey, thanks for the follow. Can't see the name. Hope you say something in chat so I can thank you properly. Why don't more women arm themselves if it's so effective?
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
That does not go for real men. It does not go for you. Show her. Show her the wonder. Coach means
Great Agamies. Hey Max, I'll be working and lurking.
Cool. Well, thanks for the follow, Grade A. What do you do? Behold.
Not bad.
Do you like it?
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
The traces of
Great
her
Agamies.
laughter
I do
are
television
still
production
there,
and web design.
in her
Oh,
eyes,
nice.
Fading fast.
Well, I hope it pays well and that it is a fulfilling career. Unfortunately, I'm the kind of disabled that isn't allowed to have a job, and streaming is a good way to kill time while I'm waiting for other things to happen, like my dog needing to go for walks or what have you. Can I borrow that sword?
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I use to keep these animals in check? You would put me in an early grave.
She refuses, but your word is the law. You are law. She's making a joke. Her voice softens. Is she flirting with you? A little? You think she might be.
So where are all the men now?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Wait, why? If they're thick-headed?
Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Where's your husband now?
Gone.
The harbor seawall endures the wash of the freezing waves. Many things wash up against it and onto the beaches of Revachol. Some inanimate, some just no longer alive. You shudder.
Gone where?
To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago.
Oh.
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
It's healthy to let go. It's healthy to let go and move on. Gotta keep the wheels spinning.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Do it! Hit on the widow! It's the right thing to do!
Him's presence makes it awkward. Don't know a good spot yet. Well, now I gotta try.
You think she really needs more of that after a man died at sea?
But what do I do then?
What if I told you it is actually possible to go on a date sober?
What you're suggesting is highly experimental, possibly dangerous.
Before recorded history, men and women were able to do simple, very primitive things together sober. Acknowledge the situation and keep it basic.
I'm a drunk, don't know if you noticed, so I usually ask people to drink with me.
I have, and I don't really.
Now, go for it. You just want to go for a walk. What kind of a monster doesn't want to go for a walk? Walks are innocent. Walks are fucking great cardio. Very stable fat burner. Aerobic exercise.
This time, though, imitate drum roll, I thought I'd ask you for a walk.
Just a walk? I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator.
I am. That's why you should definitely agree.
Where would this walk take us, officer?
Nothing creepy, strange, or out there. Keep it airy and simple. Creepy? What is this, kink shaming?
The tip of the peninsula is bound to have a good view. Let's go there.
Officer, I thought we had a walk of our own in mind. One that results in a solved murder investigation.
God, he is a cockblock.
Oh no. You, come with us. Seriously, I insist. You need to understand that nothing is going to happen. We're just walking. That's it. Understood?
Having the lieutenant along is a fail-safe measure against any possible funny business.
Alright, it's a date, sort of.
Let's call it a walk. I'll join you if the ma'am insists.
I'm really sorry.
I do, yes. Stroll on the beach sounds nice, doesn't it? All right, I'll see the kids haven't killed each other and we'll meet at Land's End in 15 minutes?
She doesn't wait for an answer. You better get ready.
Yeah. Well, what's happening? Meet Lilian at Land's End. Well, we better get our asses out there.
The woman is tying a complicated nautical knot around the post.
Holy shit, it's Joyce!
Hello, detectives. It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Have you been spying on us?
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the cordelate she read. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White.
What is this? Destruction of property? Hooliganism? Elder abuse? And who is this scamp, anyway?
No matter. Lillian and I are getting on much better. For one, she appreciates the concept of rent.
How do you like it here?
How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there? I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right. Politics time. Let's react. Real men, real politics, real thoughts in your head.
Trying not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds, twisting into each other. The wind tugs and stretches them over the bay. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly, but perceptibly. It's early spring, and the rains are coming. An officer enters a low hut of stone and wood. Inside, weapons are piled against the walls. Rifles with splintering stocks, and swords. Tens, if not hundreds. They're antiques, says Lieutenant John, the architect McCoy, to his partner. They're digging them up from the catacombs now, fixing them. Old caches from the Revolution. The children carry them up. Come May, the streets will be flooded. Outside, the wind rattles the loose hatches. flooded with cheap weapons in angry hands.
Have I told you how they discovered this place?
Yisla?
Yes. In Cielinde.
No.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off
God
than
damn
most
it,
of
how
these
am I gonna
people.
go see this date?
The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty. It's a pity. Most of these people will never know what this place means, this island of matter, or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day.
It's good
For now,
running into you.
how can I assist you in this new location? Godspeed, Detective.
Thank you, ma'am. Do keep an eye on your boat.
Christ alive, almost missing the fucking date here. Thank God time doesn't move when you're just running around. Holy shit. That old capitalist is gonna talk my fucking ear off. Where's Land's End? Nah, we don't need to worry about that. Oh, here we go. Must find date place. Northern tip of the peninsula.
The woman gazes
There we go.
steadily at the waves. A sudden gust picks up her dark hair and lets it fall again, tousled, wild. She brushes a few stray locks from her eyes, and only then spots you approaching.
Aye, so here you are. Mid-noon and the snow is
It's not really snow, it's slush. At least the drunks and teenagers haven't joined us yet. Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what the locals call a make-out spot. That is not going to happen here today. I just want to make that clear, Dimples.
Her thoughts are still elsewhere, with distances across the water, and with the water itself. Across the rusty water, that's La Delta, the financial district. In the mist-covered distance, towers rise as a rebuke to the poverty of this coast.
You seem surprised that I made it.
Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
The world? Those big words men like to throw around as though they had weight. Let's just admire this piece of the world we happen to have in front of us, eh? Here it comes.
So fast as to make it seem like the weather turns at her command.
Wait, did you just do that?
Me? No, no, no. Just grew up on the sea. Know which way the wind's blowing and all. Knew the weather'd clear up once we got here. Otherwise, it would have been a less pleasant stroll, eh?
The sun reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers rising across the bay is mesmerizing. Your mind clears for a moment as your senses take it all in. Not just the glass skyscrapers, fragile looking in the shimmering air. River Esperance flowing into the bay.
Hun, are you going to be good for noon?
Isn't it strange for this all-powerful thing, the sun, to be so generous towards us? You know, the best time to go out fishing is usually towards sunset, when the water is warmer.
Mr. Badwolf, I want that man to tell me bedtime stories.
Capeside tenements.
He's a jazz musician of all things.
An old sea fortress juts out, seemingly impervious to the sheen cast over everything else, shaking you out of your reverie.
I watched like an 1.5 hour long interview with him. This is the first voice gig he ever got, and boy, they gave him a fucking doozy, tell you what.
The sun does little for the dead, and those hopelessly lost in their own minds, or people living in desert climates with sparse vegetation and little drinking water. There's salt in the air, and the cries of the gulls and the skuas, grit of the sand and the green glint of broken bottles. But still your gaze always returns to the dazzling streaks of light, wherever they may be reflected, their opulence.
It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. It's unlike no other powerful being, certainly no powerful organization or government. How can that be?
Something's got to be on our side.
I guess we wouldn't really be here if that thing wasn't on our team.
You would be incinerated, or worse. Maybe some general remarks before you say something big. Work your way up to the cool.
You have fish hooks in your ears.
These aren't real fish hooks, silly. They're earrings shaped to look like fish hooks. A drunk called Rosemary brought them to me. I kept them.
She's right. They're made mostly of plastic. A cheap novelty gift you can buy from a flower shop or a kiosk. The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the sunlit coast across the water.
There's an interesting lilt to your voice.
Thank you. I'm half Ubi. My mother was from Ubi Sunt. Not a lot of sun there, I hear, though I've never been.
The wind ruffles her hair as she looks at the sunlit coast across the water. Here we go. 2 different approaches to cap this off with style.
The only fault with the sun is it shines on us as well as our enemies.
That it does. But then, we are also enemies to our enemies, hey? And so she shines on us. The cops and the commies, the killers and the saints. You know, the wind's gonna pick up soon, and I have to go, but have this. The sun's good, but it doesn't stick things. I've no use for it anymore.
Sure you don't need it?
No. Men around here are too drunk to pose a threat to me.
Oh, I can't argue that.
The lieutenant looks at the sword with distrust in his eyes. Do not bring it into a gunfight, he thinks. Please understand, it's merely ceremonial.
Think we can do this again sometime?
Doubt it. But thank you for the company.
This is as far as it goes with her. You'd need to put a year between you and your last drink for anything more.
Thank you for this.
Farewell.
As she walks off, the wind picks up, and the light from the sun seems to fade. The crumbling silhouette of failed electrical R&D towers in the distance, beckoning.
I hope this has been refreshing for you, Detective. Let's return to our search with a fresh pair of eyes.
A fresh pair of eyes and a sword. What's that? Oh. Ladder's too rusty to climb. The sea air has eaten away at it. Relay tower coordinates boat traffic on the bay. Barely. A rusted control box. Someone made a campfire here a long time ago.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower. The wind picks up. Fine sea foam lashes your face. It feels like needles. You can take it. Just raise your collar, detective. In the distance, you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, officer. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, blue from the distance and the air, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender, smoking, drinking, being happy and elated, without you. Because you're here, freezing in the wind, aren't you? Doing your detective work.
The assailant climbed the comms tower.
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
He looks like he's cold out here at the tip of the coast. The jacket is warm, but not for this weather.
Kim, you look cold. Maybe a little pilot cap?
No.
No what?
No what? An orange pilot cap wouldn't help?
Yes, that one. No to the orange pilot cap.
Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator.
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out biddable prime, was it?
Alright. Oh wait, we can fast travel. That's a thing we should do. How do we? Oh well. I guess we're going back the long way. Hey! Can we open this door?
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door. with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut.
Huh, this door's shut tight. How do we get in there?
We don't get in there.
Come on, we even got the light mending guy's container, but you're saying we can't get in here?
Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door.
No. We've absolutely gotten into everywhere thus far. That's what we do. We open doors and go through them. We're cops. That's our perk.
That's who I am, who we are.
Yeah, I understand you. I like opening doors as much as the next guy. But this one is simply beyond repair, and we don't have the resources needed to open it. Relax. No one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, others can't either. And thus they can't get in.
At least you can think about opening it, about doors in general. They are, after all, fundamental to your life. Perhaps something useful will come from this.
Dare say we have enough of those. One more door. God damn it cannot be a disgrace. That door on the coast, you remember that one, right? The one that leads to the abandoned supply depot? Why in the name of all that's holy does it not open? Why? There has to be a way to get through that unopenable door. By God, you're the police. All doors are supposed to open before you. What will the others of the precinct think if you can't open a goddamn door? There must be a way. I fucking love this game. This shit is ridiculous. I don't care if it was written by communists. A kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you.
Yulia_Sura, your game is messed up. No wonder you like it.
Full of holes. Could the posts hide treasures? Look inside. A beer. A 55 cents. A 21 cents. A magnesium. A 29 cents. What's over here? It must have taken a lot of patience to do this. Yellow moss on these stones are probably stolen from someone's garden. A pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. Trash from some unending party.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on! Get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader. Or at least he thinks he is.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Hardcore! It smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether. A pile of nasal sprays, Nosefed Ultra. Capri-Lange, engine starting fluid. Canisters of what appears to be water. The label says distilled. A speaker, the big kind they use for live music.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secret.
Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent! All core! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
So hardcore.
Is it though?
It is.
But is it? I mean, really?
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent. But you haven't gotten there yet, so you don't know what to say.
I was thinking that too.
I am the mic enforcer. I am the chick's checker. Yeah!
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Solve the egghead puzzle.
The young man with...
This is hardcore. Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega!
Alright.
Here comes the night! Back to the heavyweight jam! Hardcore!
What is... How do you solve this? This is gonna drive me nuts.
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent! All core! Alright! Yeah!
He furrows his brow.
Hardcore! Ah!
No, but seriously, I'm a little worried it isn't.
The question is, what is the question?
Just answer the question.
But there was no question.
I know how to solve this. Ah.
We're close. True, hard, full, core. Hardcore. Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent. All core. All right. Yeah.
He furrows his...
Hardcore.
Is it though? But is it? I mean, really?
The question is, what is the question?
No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
The skin on your back is crawling. For a second, you can't even hear the music anymore. There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
Why are there lungs on your belt buckle?
Lungs are for love.
Why would lungs be for love?
When Dolores Day was anointed innocence, her lungs started glowing through her body. For the world loved her, and she loved it back. Yeah!
That is weirdly coherent.
Why wouldn't they be? Are the lungs not the place where you hold the breath of your soul?
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Love! In a woman's lungs. Lonely as I am, I'm not afraid. This strange, damaged feeling grows on, 'cause I've never loved someone like you before.
A dopamine surge accompanies the words. It feels like electricity flowing down your scalp, dissipating into your neck. Feels good, like a spark of life in that moribund sponge you call your body.
All right! Here comes the night!
Well, that was a head fuck. But we found what we needed. One of the many, many, many things that we need.
A pane of Eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough. The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk. There's something feral crouched between the rocks.
Something feral?
Something primal. Something forbidden. Back away. Very slowly.
Where is it?
There, by the water. Intriguing.
A leopard bodysuit. What the fuck? This leopard patterned garment washed up on the coast, burrowed between rock and ice. Damp smell arises when you bring it close to your face. It looks dangerously feral. You should think twice before getting closer.
This is a men's size L, leopard patterned unitard with short sleeves. There are bits of seaweed stuck to it. It speaks to the animal inside you. Actually, this is a leotard, not a unitard. Unitards have legs. Who cares? It's a tard suit either way.
That one got me.
Slow and steady, boy. You know how to handle this. Drop it now. This thing will eat you.
What should I do with it?
Run, you idiot. There's only one thing left to do. See how it fits. Just know that once the leotard goes on, it never comes off. You will change irrevocably, but don't you want to feel different? It can be a secret that only you know.
Try it on.
You slip from your briefs into the leotard. It's very tight.
This is the kind of animal you want to be.
So firmly before. Putting on the garment feels like stepping into a warm summer lake. The silky warmth engulfs you.
Shouldn't he have washed it first? Yes, this is the kind of animal I want to be.
Your fingers run down your pectoral muscles, your abdominals, your hips. It's impossible to tell where you end and the leopard begins. The dried sea salt chafes against your soft flesh. Again, once the leopard comes on, it's never, ever coming off. It's wearing you now.
That's fucking great.
Yes?
That's kind of hoping he'd have something to say. Oh wait, there was a dude over here. Not that dude. Where was it?
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
What is this about?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy.
I don't see anything. Oh well. Did I go the wrong way? God damn it, why can I never find what I need? And how the hell are you supposed to... It says you can fast travel, but there's no fucking way to do it. Alright, I stand corrected. I both love and hate how hard this fucking game is to navigate.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other. A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound, no movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. The sun blazes high up in the sky, baking the planks, the sand, your skin. The order was carried out in the afternoon. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations. As demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes, they stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Ordinary people, familiar, each and every one of them.
Who were they?
Foreign dissidents, unwashed criminals, and hoi polloi. Such is your belief, officer. Maybe you should change it. They were praying, screaming. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? Men of duty, dark duty, martyrs of the nation, the ardent knights, the few who had the guts to do this. The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air, the lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
Tim, who is who in this execution?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces. It could even have been the employees of the failed R&D center down the coast, as their building was taken over by the revolutionaries.
Or maybe...
What about people from the coalition, the so-called moralists?
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the
Hello.
To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures. Behind this building, the other one, once filled with engineers and designers of Feld Electric, now collapsed and dead, but for some rats. You feel drawn, for some reason, to the faded mural again.
Boards crack dangerously as you run. Be careful here. The door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. God, I hate how hard this game is to navigate. The boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. A section of the coast hasn't been used in decades. The beams are splintered. The bridge didn't collapse on its own. Artillery broke it. Water runs from the west. The source is upstream. A broken pipe? A little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirp. There's a slit in the concrete here. A sewer? Buzz, hum, the electricity flows through the wires with audible power.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
Why not?
It's a guano-encrusted jacket, and you're already carrying around enough as it is.
Fuck you, I take what I want. There we go. Fuck.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Hang on, that is awful.
It doesn't help. You can still smell it. Keep it in now. Don't overreact. Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. It is death. It must be.
Heads up, Lieutenant. Something's not right here.
The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose. There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin. 2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
A tragedy.
He shakes his head with genuine sadness. Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. Now, this makes partying look bad. Still, don't let it sway you. You're responsible. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet.
See, we told her that her husband was fucking missing.
The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom-made. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue? Oh no. This sounds terribly familiar. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol. 3 bottles of wine, or 1.5 of spirits. Or maybe it was just dark. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years. He was confused when he died. Confused and alone, most likely. Overcome with the awful surprise of it all. He was just about to head home. The first step back home proved to be his last. That's what the chewing gum seems to point to as well. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him. This is where he came out of himself, drop by drop, when he was unconscious. It took 3, maybe 4 minutes.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
No, just the one at the back of his head.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him. A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time.
Tear all around us.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there. Solidified on his lower rear teeth.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario, even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
In a ditch off a road below the 881, he thinks. A young father. Then he shakes his head to make the memory stop. The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
What should we do with him?
From where I stand, I can see 2 options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
Look, we found him. We should finish this.
Alright. We should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station for Mikey and Emma. Let them know we are taking the case.
Who is this man?
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
A dead working-class man with a bottle in his hand? Don't deceive yourself. You know who this is.
We know who this is. The working-class woman's missing husband, dead on the boardwalk.
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband?
Because it's the most working-class death you've ever seen.
The leather jacket. It matches her description perfectly.
The bright blue lining? Well, he's definitely someone's husband.
What do you think happened here?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Right.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure. Although...
One more door. There is no way to open the supply depot door. Accept it. You cannot open all the doors. You have to integrate this into your character. Some doors will forever remain closed. even if every single other door will open at one time or another. Maybe to a key, or maybe to some sort of tool meant for opening doors. But this one will never accede to such commands. A realization crucial to personal growth. Crucial. The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mejean.
Good idea. There was plenty of information here to go by.
I still want to know how the hell to fucking fast travel. How are you supposed to travel? I have to be spanning the approximate spot. Oh God, that's horrible. You can only fast travel in certain spots, to certain spots. Fuck that noise. I truly hate how hard this place is to navigate. Yeah, we'll deal with that in a quick second.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Connect me to the Jamrock Public Library.
Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to the librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call.
I'm looking for any information you can provide on Billy Mejean, a reader.
Billy Mejean, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Yes, home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Capeside Apartments, it says. That's all.
Let me see here. Once Harry sleeps on day 3. Okay. So that is a quest that'll come up.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
Do you have any other information?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Do you know someone who was?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
Maurice, what? A woman yells. Then, yes, okay, if it was the police.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name
now. So Billy Magine is a woman, not a man. How did your colleagues know it was her husband?
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later. On the lookout.
Do you know the husband's name?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
What did he look like?
Marie! She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
What was he wearing?
1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that. Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me?
Need to report a dead body.
1 moment. Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
Middle-aged man. Height 170 to 175 centimeters. Dark brown, medium build. Or dark hair, medium build. Looks like he fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head against a metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
Nope. Accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
Boots, trousers, old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
Central Jamrock Public Library. Belonged to someone named Billy Magine.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
Taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you? 57th.
In the cabin,
And... oh, shit. Let me see here.
Yulia_Sura, Discord, Han, don't read it aloud.
I just got to it. Okay. Let's look at our quest. Go to Billy Majine's apartment. Okay. So we'll do the apartment stuff.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
This woman's health is failing her. There's not much to do. Not in this damp.
This won't take long. I only have a few questions.
Go ahead, then. What do you want to know, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Looking for a young male in his mid-20s. Dark hair, skinny build, smoker on the balcony.
Yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
No trouble, I just want to talk to him. Do you know where he lives?
Talk?
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
Billy Machine.
It's about Victor, isn't it? It's always about Victor with her. You'll find the Maisons in apartment 20 upstairs.
To the balcony! Oh, no, you don't.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. We should return tonight after we have finished with our day's work. Tonight at 9 p.m.
All right.
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup allons, yo. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock. This is the door. You already know it's the right door. This is going to be so hard. Get yourself together. It's just police work.
Don't knock. Just leave. You don't need this. You don't need to sad it up.
Hold on, Kim. We should discuss this before we move on. What should we expect?
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear light footsteps passing by the door and some folk music playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Maison. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary.
You have any advice?
Dad, just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
Good advice. The lieutenant motions to...
Hello? Who is it?
And someone turns down the radio.
Is this Billy Machine's home? This is the police. Open up.
The police? A moment, please. Give us a moment.
Tidying up. Nervously. There's fear in her voice.
Come in. The door...
Bringing of the law. Law jaw. Okay, so we now know why you have law jaw. Why you say the law in a weird manner. And why your jaw does that thing. You had polio as a child. You hadn't gotten vaccinated. It must have been right after the revolution. Not a lot of vaccine going around then. So you got infantile paralysis due to polio, and this jaw thing is a complication from that. Admittedly, it's not very funny, but you overcame it. This little infant survived and became a sharp-shooting super cop. So, fuck you, polio.
I agree. Jaw's still weird. Hey, they have a WC.
It's you from the bookstand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back? I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here. Condensation. From stepping inside. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Thanks, but I'm alright.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what.
Keep it together. You don't want your body language to tell her the news.
Sorry, I'm rambling. It's just that Victor often gets into all kinds of trouble. So, how can I help you?
How about some small talk before you break the news? Definitely no small talk. This isn't the time or place. It's like ripping off a bandage. The least painful way is to do it straight away, without stalling. You've done this
Oh, thank God.
Just keep your focus.
God, do I want to just say dead like that? I'm very sorry to say, but your husband, Victor Magine, was found dead on Martinez Boardwalk.
What did you say?
A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins.
Your husband, Victor Magine, is dead. I'm very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
Oh. But he was just...
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him?
It was an accident. He fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head.
Was he drunk?
Alcohol may have played a role, yes.
I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever.
2 days maybe?
She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress.
Here.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
It burns like acid. Unreal.
God. Should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
No, take a day to recover. You'll be better prepared when they come home tomorrow.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you.
She can't take much more. Her stomach is churning. Soon she will have to go to the bathroom and scream.
Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
A very good call.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon. Already, she starts to shake.
Again, I'm very sorry, ma'am.
We should step outside and talk.
Accept the library card by her and leave the room.
You did well.
What now?
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased.
That's it?
That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done. Let's go.
You should return to the boardwalk now that the body has been taken away. There's something you need to see.
What do you mean?
A little something that your visual cortex has put together while you were away. Let's call it an apparition from the past. Oh no, it's one of those show, don't tell things, isn't it? You can just stop by whenever you're close. It should be quick enough.
Okay. And now, whoops, now we can look at our ledger.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of form are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields, but they appear pleasantly vague, a tool for manipulation. Give the lowest amount and people will be ingratiated to you. These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. All in a print so small it could be considered downright cute. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs, color of the irises, predation marks, condition of sexual organs. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. What delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. You feel better. The rest of the stinking cellulose is, they're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all?
That's it?
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Judging by the creases on your forehead and the lines on your cheeks, too much more. Going back years, decades even.
Is 2 weeks, or 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it.
It seems
lest you start making mistakes.
That seems to have been my workload.
That's a lot. This kind of caseload would explain your solved cases tally on the watermark. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
A nice brisk pace, the way I like it.
I prefer a normal caseload. It's a matter of method.
Not you. You are an eternal machine. Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. It's inornate, nearly illegible, yet marching in orderly lines. Pedagogical, somehow. Brash. It must be yours for you to be able to read it. These are the lines of someone who has written by hand a lot and has developed a style only they themselves, or you yourself, can decipher. Written in a rush, in pain, a race to beat your own heart's pulse to some dark finish line. Your hand cramps up merely looking at the scribbles drawn, as by some magnet, to the red checkered margins. Fast, but always straight. Wearing out, nearly gone. Sometimes he forgets to keep the pen on the paper as he moves his hand, and the lines vanish from underneath.
A naming convention.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from Snoop fiction and Vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters, too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and The Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. You like this grimy murdering, don't you? Wish there was one in there about a drug den. You love those. Gets the blood pumping. No, you don't. You're a human measuring instrument. Almost entirely intellectual. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
My cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, the titular.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one The Man with the Hole in His Head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But...
no matter, I'll just use the pencil.
Onto the paper with a brash free hand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. And a fuck you to you too. That last one cuts a slash right through the paper. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Furies are at home in the mirror.
Furies? Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that it refers to. And also, could you make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name.
Yes, you know what that normal name is, but it's so plain. Anything else, please.
Oh, fine.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them so much as, yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
Wait, weren't those opposite precincts?
Why, yes. Your precinct number is 41. Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Wow, I don't know what to say to that.
I got nothing here either. Logic really isn't the best faculty to have this conversation with. But it's the one you got. So sorry. Yeah, we're staying out of this business for now. HDB is bad news from yesteryear. It's shit, honcho.
How long does it take to read a case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start? Not much has changed.
Alright. So I'm gonna call it here. I need to go soak in a tub because my joints are killing me. I will be back with more Disco Elysium in an hour or two. I have been Max Angor. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you in an hour or two.